Our next guest is Dr. Computer Adam Zweibel. Zweibel.
Zweibel.
I'm sorry.
It's
Adam.
Zweibel.
It's Dr. Zweibel.
Oh, doctor.
And it's Zweibel.
Oh, Zweibel.
Yeah.
Okay, I do know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah.
Your dad works with us, so that's how we met you.
Yes.
And that's why you're on the show, to help us with our computers. Are you really a doctor?
I am a doctor, you know, the doctor of computers for anyone who has problems with their computer, their network, you name it. We're here to help.
How did you get into this? I had a friend who got a job with a guy who had a business like that, and he said, well, and he didn't really know that much about computers. So he said, so what I do is I go over and I stand there and I go, and then I unplug it and plug it back in, and then I say, and then usually it works again. Yeah.
Yes, sometimes that definitely works. I've always been using computers since I was a little kid.
Oh.
12, 13 years old. I can remember when my dad and mom removed the door off my door jamb because I was on America Online too long.
What were you
running
doing?
Up $2,000 internet bills.
Yeah, well,
I didn't hear that was the reason
no,
why.
I wanted to tell the real reason why.
Yeah, why don't you tell us the real reason
Because you
why?
were 13,
I was always into computers.
14. I don't know if that was because you were into computers that you got into trouble. Adam.
Yeah, I was the kid you should have been monitoring when internet just started. So I could have gone either way, you know, the bad way or the way you can work for it.
But they took the door off the hinges and then it was all okay?
No, it was just to give them some foresight of what was possibly going on.
Right, because what had been going on was something that maybe
it was
needed to be done in
computer.
moderation.
Well, everyone knows the internet is for...
You know. You know. I don't think we have to say, no, it's for research.
Yes. Absolutely. You know,
well, you were researching the female anatomy.
That's fair.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what I try to tell them.
Right.
And yeah.
And now you're a doctor.
And now I'm a doctor. Exactly, right?
That's good. That's good. So let me ask you something, Adam. Are you a Mac or are you a PC?
I do both. We do both.
Okay.
My company does both.
Which do you prefer? Come on, which is better?
I prefer the Macs for the home use. For kids, they're much safer. There's no viruses.
Right.
But when it comes to businesses, for compatibility, PCs are the way to go.
Okay.
Well, it's too bad because I prefer the Mac. So what do we have to worry about with information on our computer and people getting it, the stuff we put out there?
The footprint, the imprint, that whole thing.
Well, now everything is available online. So when especially kids in today's environment, and, you know, when they put stuff online, they don't necessarily know the consequences that it causes.
Right.
You know, so it's very important for parents to be actively involved in their children's computer life. It's important to have a two-way open dialogue about what's right and what's wrong about the internet. You can monitor and you can filter as much content as you want, but there's always going to be stuff that slips through.
But don't the filters sometimes filter out things that you want them to be able to access?
Absolutely. You know, there's always that balancing act of convenience and annoyance.
Okay.
Because if you take away Google...
Yeah, that would hurt.
Right.
That wouldn't help.
Yeah.
So you do go in and do that for people, or is it easy enough to find? Can you do it yourself, or is it a little complicated?
There's definitely things that you can do yourself. I mean, there's easy sites that offer the web filtering and whatnot. But I really am an advocate of active parenting.
Sure.
You know,
take the door off.
Take the door off the hinges at all costs. Absolutely. No, I think that keeping the computers out of the kids' bedroom is very important. Because
they have laptops.
Well, yeah, that's a big problem that a lot of people come across. So we've devised a solution where we have a central charging station for all of their computer electronics in the center of the house. Right. So they can't go into their home, their room at night with cell phones and iPods and stuff that they can reach across the world and touch a little boy in India.
Excuse me?
They can do anything. You know, the kids can go anywhere and go anywhere online. They go out and get the new iPhone, for instance, right?
Right.
They can go online and they can chat with a boy in India if they wanted to. Not that this is a bad boy.
You mean with FaceTime?
Well, with face, well,
But that
yes.
boy might not be a boy, it might be a man.
It might be a man. You never know exactly who's behind the other side
Right,
of the computer.
right. I mean,
So that's the scary thing out there. You want to make sure that you are involved in the activity of the
you have
kids.
to be, and you can also, with things like iChat or any of the instant messaging stuff, you can track all the conversations and then read them and see what's going on. But the video chatting is harder
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
to track.
It's definitely harder. That's why we're just strong advocates of just for parents to actually have a conversation, because the kids ultimately are going to have to use their discretion
Right.
of what is right and what is wrong.
So you
There's
have
too
to-
many outlets out there. They have their phones. They can go to their friend's house. They can go to school.
Right.
There's too much stuff that can slip through the cracks. So if the kids are going to want to get it, they're going to get it. It's up to the parents to really show what is right and what is wrong.
So is anything really private on the internet? If you email somebody and then you delete it, is it really gone?
Oh no, it's always there. Unless you spend a few hours trying to format the computer using special tools to officially erase it. Otherwise, everything is retrievable and nothing's ever really
So it's
gone.
really hard to erase it. So even if, so let's say I take a Word document and I write a letter, and then I write over it. I erase it in the same document, and I write over it. Is the first letter there?
That would be tough to recover.
Okay.
Because you're
Even
actually
if I
overwriting a file.
Right.
So that would be much more difficult to recover. But if you set up
But you
the computer
could recover
beforehand,
it. If you-
it's possible. It
Okay.
really
Yeah,
is.
but-
It's really is per instance.
But Adam, I mean, Dr. Zweibel, isn't it true that everything is like impossible to really delete forever and ever and ever, except when you lose the thing that you've been working on, or that one email you should have saved, or whatever else, and then it's gone, and nobody can really retrieve it unless you
Well,
bring in like the
You
big.
need a forensic, or could
Wait.
you? Is that something you would be able to do?
Yes, absolutely. We do data recovery, and we're called in for certain instances to pull stuff off of the computers. There's always that that shaky divorce.
Oh, like when someone's been naughty.
Oh, someone's been naughty. My kid's spending too much time on the computer.
Right.
What should we do?
Right.
So I've kind of now am on the other side of the fence, looking into the bedroom. I now have 2 young kids, and
Have you ever found anything crazy?
Yes, there's always crazy stories,
Yeah.
crazy stuff. I mean, we come across just about everything you can imagine. Everyone has a computer. I mean, we service computers at junkyards. I mean, they need a function.
Well, if you're going to throw your computer away, you have to destroy it. You cannot just.
Yeah, you can't take for granted that someone is going to actually erase it, because
What if you erase it? You can't.
Well, yes, you can
No,
use
you need
certain
to take
tools.
hammer to.
That is
No,
one
that's
way of erasing it.
wasteful. No, that's very wasteful. So if I had, I gave a Mac away, and I went through the whole thing of, it took like a day.
Reinstalling the
Yeah,
operating system and whatnot.
right.
There's a certain way of formatting it during the installation process
Okay.
to actually thoroughly erase all the content out there. It's called
Oh.
writing zeros to the drive over and over and over again to get rid of all the content.
I hope I did a good job.
Yeah.
Thanks,
But-
Alan.
Yeah. Thank you so much.